Hello and welcome to the Community Producers. I'm your host, Vanessa Rifo. This show explores the community with local stories and features created by volunteers just like me and community groups. Let's get to the videos. A piece of American aviation history touched down in August at the Red Deer Airport, bringing with it new admirers and memories.
This is the J model of the B-25, but this one was actually in World War II. It flew 15 missions out of Corsica, Italy. Was in military service till late 1950s, about 1958. Went into storage. Some spray plane people bought it, spray bugs, agricultural crops, things like that. And from there, it got into the hands of some warbird collectors, and eventually the Commemorative Air Force picked it up in the early 1980s, about 1981, and then had to tear everything down and put it back together. Took 27 years to restore it to flying condition, this configuration that it had during the war. Everybody has their favorite, you know, and a lot of people think about the big four-engine bombers like the B-17s that did all the work in Europe. This particular aircraft, this model of aircraft, is famous for the Doolittle raid. So they selected this aircraft out of a lot of other aircraft and flew some of them off the USS Hornet in the Sea of Japan and attacked Tokyo. Been a movie made about that, and they had 16 of these aircraft. None of them came back. One landed in Russia, one did a belly landing in a rice paddy, 3 of them ditched in the ocean, and the other 11 crews bailed out over China. Of all those 80 men, about 60 of them survived the war, and there's only 1 of them left alive today. It seems like a long time ago, but if those people hadn't done what they did, we wouldn't be standing here talking today. Or we might be speaking a different language, at least I can say that. And so the thing is, there's all kinds of things. When people go in there, they'll say, well, this thing doesn't look very comfortable, you know, and we tell them, well, it wasn't built for comfort, it was built for freedom. This particular aircraft has 12 50 caliber machine guns, carries 3,000-pound bomb load. At the time, it cruised about 300 miles an hour, 295 or 93, I think they say. Which was fast for those days. The nose art is something everybody's familiar with from World War II, that they were all 18, 19-year-old kids, and they painted girlfriends and everything else on the nose. And so, you know, this was added, like I said, it was 27 years restoration. It was done under a canopy and stuff, and somebody had made the comment that this aircraft was made in the shade, and thus the comment about the nose art. I get emotional about it because of my father, my mother, you know, the family history, and all the other people that we've come in contact with, some of the veterans that come out here, they wind up, you know, putting their hand on the side of the aircraft and get real emotional. Had a guy several years ago that said, that looks like the plane I flew in. Turns out it was. And, you know, when you get inside, you know, you're walking where they walked, and you're sitting where they sat, and you're seeing what they see, you know. And it's, the people walk away, a lot of people walk away a little bit changed from this, you know, which is what our intent is. They say, man, I didn't know it was like that. We'll have kids ask, oh, it's bulletproof, right? No. Bulletproof glass? No. You know, it's cold up there. Yes. I mean, all of those things, you know, and it's important to realize what people did.
It might be surprising to many just how much there is to do in central Alberta. Red Deer County has plenty of attractions to keep you busy.
Visitors to Red Deer County get to experience an abundance of exciting attractions. The Jungle Farm north of Innisfail offers pick-your-own farm-fresh produce, including strawberries and pumpkins. The Jungle Farm greenhouses are brimming with locally grown plants and flowers, and the picturesque general store barn offers fresh baked goods, old-fashioned preserves, and much more. The RCMP Police Dog Service Training Center south of Innisfail demonstrates a variety of techniques used to train police dogs. All RCMP dogs, typically purebred German Shepherds, are taught to protect their handlers and themselves and to apprehend upon command. Some police dogs focus on search and rescue and narcotics and explosives detection. This training center is staffed by some of the most experienced police dog handlers that the RCMP has to offer. Discovery Wildlife Park north of Innisfail provides permanent homes for unfortunate wildlife, like orphans that cannot be released back into the wild, exotic pets that have been kept illegally, and unwanted pets. Daily animal presentations promote conservation and provide education about each species living in the park. Experiences with animals help develop a continued passion for conservation. Historic Markerville is an extraordinary hamlet that puts pioneering heritage on showcase. The Stephen G. Stephenson Icelandic Society helps make Markerville shine, and historic sites like the Creamery Museum, Fincella Hall, and the Markerville Lutheran Church make this a great spot to visit. You can even celebrate local food, farmers, and community at the Taste of Markerville Country Food Fair every summer. Historic Fort Normando west of Red Deer commemorates the First Nations, Métis, and European people who influenced the development of today's central Alberta. The Interpretive Centre shares the story of the Red Deer Crossing through dramatic programs, artifacts, and indoor and outdoor exhibits. Throughout the summer, history is brought to life with authentic, entertaining, and informative live programs. Learn more about Red Deer County at rdcounty.ca.
Welcome back to the Community Producers. I'm your host, Vanessa Rifo. Earlier this year, the Women's Outreach Center held their annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event. Those that strapped on their heels and walked the mile had the opportunity to share why they walked. Let's check it out.
This is a very important cause personally to me because I grew up in a household filled with domestic violence. My father was an alcoholic. He would come home late at night, get into fights with my mom, beat her up. I was about 5, 6 at the time, so I really couldn't do much from my end. And then we actually finally got out of that situation. But back then, there was no place like the Women's Outreach to turn to. You were usually probably running to a friend's place or maybe hiding out at a relative's place. Thankfully, these days, the Women's Outreach Center is here to help those who are in that kind of a situation. And that's the reason I walk, because I want to raise awareness for that, and I want to do as much as I can to help those who are in that situation get out of it and start a better life.
I'm walking today for the Women's Outreach. It's an absolutely incredible cause, and it's really special. We walked last year, the Innisfail Eagles, and we raised the most money. So we're challenging everybody to do better than us from last year, but it's an absolutely incredible cause. So I'm honored to be here.
I think the reason we put a team together, not just as a branch but as a company, is because we believe in the cause, right? We're all about treating people with respect and fairness, and that applies to everyone. So specifically here, it's against violence and sexual violence against women, but as a whole, Shaw as a company believes in treating everyone with respect, so that's why we do things.
Absolutely. I think it plays directly into what our core values as a business are, and that is, we believe in being a diverse employer that takes care of people and supporting our local communities and supporting those that are, in our company. And when we talk about the things that matter to us the most at Shaw, it really comes down to us as people, and we believe that, connecting Canadians together, and be it this forum or how we do it through our business, it's very important for us to get out in our communities and support what matters. So.
Growing up as a kid, I grew up in an abusive home myself, and believe it or not, Urban Bulldogs Against Kids Abuse helped me out in my time of need. And I chose to take this path to give back to the children and help them out. I talk in schools about anti-bullying as well.
Hi, I'm Brian Egan with Duck Greens Transport. We walk for Women's Outreach Program for 3 years now. We'd like to support this charity a lot. Helps women in need and brings awareness to abuse. I just would like to encourage anybody else that sees this to come out next year or support this charity, as it's well organized. It seems to be growing every year, but we do need to sponsor this, so it's one way to do it, right?
domestic violence, unfortunately, is a concern in every community, not just Red Deer. Red Deer, we have a robust system here. We have a domestic violence unit that works strictly towards domestic violence. There's 5 police officers for that. But every police officer becomes involved in investigating domestic violence at some point. And we're very lucky to have the Women's Outreach Center that we work very closely with in giving that outreach to the victims and support to them that sometimes the police can't do.
Hi, my name is Roger, and I'm walking on behalf of Guardian Ambulance. I'm walking for all the women that I see in the back of my ambulance that have been assaulted or violence against them. But I'd like to dedicate this walk to my daughter.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out, and it's a big turnout. I wasn't expecting this many people and this kind of event, but it's great. And anytime people can get out and raise money and support a good cause, it's a special thing.
It's the International Men's March Against Domestic Violence, and having lived in a situation where domestic violence was something that I encountered, I can't imagine my daughter growing up in a world with it, so I do it for her.
No, and I definitely can't imagine that so many women, it's a shame that in our society we do need a place such as the Women's Outreach Center in 2017, but we are so glad that it's here, and we need it here because so many women actually need to come here, so we are doing everything we can to help raise money and support it, and hopefully down the road we won't need the Women's Outreach Center, and that'll be a great day.
We love Access producers with a passion for filming. This next video was discovered right here on YouTube. If you produce or post videos here in Central Alberta, we would love to hear them. Please contact us today so we can share your passion with all of Central Alberta. Let's check out a bird's eye view of seeding taking place in Nelson's Farms in Central Alberta. That's all the time we have on today's episode of the Community Producers. Now, if you're interested in submitting a video or volunteering as a host for this program, please visit the website on your screen to learn more how you can get involved. And to keep up to date on everything Shaw TV Red Deer, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I've been your host, Vanessa Rifo. Thanks for watching.